Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Elevenses, the podcast for the business aviation powered by Private Jet Coach. My name is Martina Vincenzi. And today, together with me, I have the pleasure to welcome a renowned guest of Elevenses, Alessia Cortesi. Welcome back, Alessia.
Thank you very much to have me back in your podcast, and very happy to see that life experience are inspiring maybe somebody else.
Yeah, definitely. And in fact, on today's episode, we are going to talk about your life experience, which I know is quite singular and quite interesting. So I'm here on my sofa, very comfortable.
Ready to go.
Ready to listen to your stories. So let's start. Alessia, I would like to ask you about your time in India, because I know you told me before that you spent some time in that area, in that part of the world. So would you like to tell us about your life in India, and what did you do? How did you end up over there?
Well, I ended up over there because I decided to write my bachelor thesis about India, and together with my mentor professor, they want me to write something about the press, something about politics. So at the end, they gave me Kashmir, so the conflict in Kashmir between India and Pakistan, which at that time in the 90s was very active. It was a war area. And of course, very thrilled, I said, yes, why not? Without even checking, there is material, literature. That's when you are 20 something. Yeah, India. Wow.
Yeah, who doesn't look forward to go sometime
and of
in a
course,
war area?
Suddenly I realized, because it was the conflict in the newspaper, so in the press, of course, in the English press, because if I had to learn also, I mean, at the end, I learned also the local languages, but it was mainly for communication, not reading and writing. When I realized that there is nothing, the topic is too exotic. At that time, I was in Austria, so even more exotic. So I just take the decision, okay, with the professor, I'm just telling him, I'm going there. You're going where? I said, I'm going in India. See how to read this newspaper and see what. So they were all, oh, she's going in India. You have to think again. More than 30 years ago in the 90s. So no communication. So it's not like now you have Erasmus, you have all this connection between university. So, and especially European university and Asian university. At that time, Austria wasn't even in the EU. So completely. So I decided I have to work very hard, at least for 1 year, because I'm aware there I'm not gonna be able to work. So just, doing research and study, and of course traveling around and see how the different universities. So, and this is how I ended up there. And I started with the New Delhi University. And as usual, I left with a plan in my mind, but without a real plan, because I remember the communication with the university was still by fax. They are getting fax when there is night, and so was not so fluent like we have communication now. Anyway, I understood it's time to leave. Just see what is there. The worst that can happen, you come back without anything, but it's already something in your research. And I'm just leaving with 2 addresses, one for Pakistan and one for India. So at least I had a place to come to stay when landing, when reaching there. And, from there, of course, because there were people connecting with other people that I know, how it goes. When I arrived there, I couldn't believe it. Looks like everything was planned from somewhere, from above, from something, because all was like a puzzle that suddenly started to get in place and show, because I needed this at the university and this. There is always somebody connected with this, with that auntie, that neighbors. So it was at the end really, really good. Maybe better than expected. At the end there, I had no work, but I ended up doing research, and I was lucky that everything was so well connected, and I managed to be in India, in Pakistan. At the end, because when I start, of course, we talk about India, is stupid talking about India because India is huge. And of course, northern India is one thing. Then I went to also south, east, Calcutta. And of course, from Calcutta, I thought, oh, I'm already here. Why not going see Czech and Bangladesh? So, and of course, I had a very funny experience with Bangladesh Airlines. It was always very nice.
You remind me when I say to my mom that I was going to live in Dubai. So I came home one night and I say, Mommy, I would like to inform you that I'm about to move to Dubai and I'm going to start work for an airline in the Middle East. She said, okay, very good. And then the day after she came to me and say, Amore, so darling,
yeah,
I'll prepare for you. This is the phone number of the Italian embassy in Dubai. Please memorize it on your phone. Okay, keep it with you, very cherished, very close to your heart all the time. And if something happened, do not hesitate and call.
Oh, I was also, I remember with my mother when I told, because I was already in Austria, so already far away.
Yeah.
All right. But when I told, I said, don't worry, because of course, again, there was no WhatsApp, I said, every 15, 20 days, I'll post you a letter so you know I'm alive.
I was wondering what your mom, how your mom reacted, or your family, when you say that.
Yeah, they were already used. I was in Austria and already started doing lots of traveling. So one thing they were not wondering, but they were thinking, 1 year? Nobody thought I was able to stay that long. They were thinking she's gonna come back because so much difference, so much. But then I fell in love immediately with all these color, different cultures, spices, smell, perfumes, and it was very, very nice.
And how long did you stay at the end?
Well, the first time was 1 year and 1 month, I think. And the second time in 2000, when I had to finish a couple of things, it was more in the East Calcutta area, 3 years. So not bad.
Oh, no, definitely not. Very interesting. So let's follow then with the second questions I have for you. What is the most significant experience that have influenced your VIP hospitality style that you experienced when you were over there?
I think there are many experiences, but I think this one, it's very memorable because, as I said, I left Europe with 2 numbers, 2 address, 2 reference, one for India, one for Pakistan. And at the university in Austria, there was a gentleman. At that time, he was already a gentleman. He was doing study, my same type of study, but he was working night shift in a hotel. So many times he was not able to follow, and he was always asking, Alessia, can you borrow me your notes? I said, yeah, no problem. And of course, because take my note. then when I decided, I said, listen, can I ask you now something? Do you know how I can approach a Pakistani university, where, north, south, where I can stay as soon as I arrive, campus, or oh, you've been very nice. You know how the people from Asia are very nice and welcoming. They really do not remember if you've done even a little thing for them. Don't worry, this is my family, my father number, address, so he will take care. Then ask him everything and he will do. Okay, fine. I follow the instruction I've received by letters. And when I decide to move on the other side to Pakistan, following the instruction, reaching the border, there was no communication between the two countries because of this Kashmir. So it was really not nice. So the bus was stopping at the custom post on the Indian side. And you have to walk to reach the Pakistani side, where you have inspection, and then later you can take a bus or something that you move. So doing everything and reaching Lahore. Lahore was the first big city where the father was staying, and everything managed, meeting without WhatsApp, without GPS, so wonderful.
Oh my God.
We meet, and of course I was welcome at home, and it was a father with two boys, another two young boys, and he said, listen, Alessia, I'm doing everything what I can for you, but I have these two boys, they're not married yet, they were in their 20s, so, and of course, the Muslim mentality now, a young lady is coming in the house, so you cannot stay longer here. A couple of days, I'll help you. I said, yeah, no problem. I'm aware, it's okay. And the first couple of days, they were just to give me a new Pakistani refit, because the fashion is also different from India. So they were doing their refit.
Amazing.
So it would be easy for you at the university to move around. We are really thinking about 30 years ago. So I had long black hair, so it was no problem. So without makeup and no talking, I could have passed for, a young girl. So we do the refit, tailor, everything, couple of instruction. And then one evening said, tomorrow we are moving to the next. I said, very nice. Can you tell me more? Don't worry, everything is arranged for you. I know the host, where you're going, but not giving too much information. And again, it was young lady, senior person, Muslim. So, the communication. So I said, okay. The next day arrived a black car, diplomatic car, the black car.
Yeah.
The car is here now. You're going. First, I thought we are going. Maybe, he's bringing. No, you're going. Don't worry. The driver knows everything. I'm thinking, okay. I said, I'm going at the campus at the university. He said, you are going towards Islamabad. It's the capital city, bigger university. Will be easier for your research. And I said, okay. And where I'm staying, don't worry, everything is organized for you. So sitting in this diplomatic car with the driver, which brings me, then I don't know where we are going. I mean, literally. And he said, don't talk too much to the driver. Always, really, this time I said, I don't have the number of Islamabad embassy.
Maybe my mother was right then.
Yeah. And we are leaving Lahore. We go to the countryside between Islamabad and Lahore. We approach Islamabad, but still in the countryside. And suddenly, in the middle of nowhere, we get to a gate with two person in uniform, army. The gate open, like really like a fairy tale. The gate open, a huge villa house, well protected with wall. Somebody come and open my door. Somebody take my suitcase, and I'm thinking, where did I land it now? And of course, nobody has information. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this time. So welcome in the house, in a nice place, in a dining room, beautiful couches, really probably you can feel, wow, this is not a place for student, definitely.
Yeah.
So my second question is how I'm going to go and pay for all of that, because, I thought, something for student for, anyway, waiting, and suddenly a couple, the lady was in their 50 and the Mr. was in their 60, coming, welcoming, and suddenly all the butler, the servants come with tea, with anything. Now, Alessia, tell us, we have been informed from because the father of this person who was with me at the university was some kind of officer. And these people, they were Pakistani ambassador, back to Islamabad, still with some function, but they were not Italian ambassador in Italy, but they were ambassador. So, and he said, very happy you stay with us. It was for them an honor to be able to tell us about your research, what and how can we help you, because every day we're still active with something at the government. So we are going back to Islamabad, to the center. So, but don't worry, the day we are not, our plan are not matching with your plan, we give you the driver. Can you imagine a student going with a diplomatic card to the university? I was thinking, oh my God, this, if I'm going to tell somebody, nobody will believe it. So anyway, and it was really amazing. This really, I think it was the first VIP treatment, because of course, also the people, they were coming, they were at the same level, ambassador, and they were very happy me to to be with them also when wedding, any other function. I stayed there 3 months, and one of this month was the Ramadan, so I did it with them. They said, no, you don't need it, but if you eat during the day, just hide. So I said, no, if you can do, I can do it, don't worry. And then at the evening, a proper feast, how they decorate the table, the service, the porcelain. You could see, when we think Pakistan, we always think, and the same was India at that time, when we think about India. But I was really lucky. I was treating like a Marahanim, like a queen, because everywhere I went, they were happy to be with them at wedding, give me silk clothes, jewelry sometime. Wow. And I would jewelry that sometime, every time I was giving back, because of course in my mind they are giving me, because a student has no jewelry, so it doesn't look nice, but some of the jewelry, they are still with me. They just gave me the jewelry. Really, and this, it was really a first experience, Eastern style, Pakistani, very oriental type of VIP, because in the house there were butler, in the house there were servants. The tea has to be served in some way, the dinner in another way, the breakfast in another way. And I tell you, it was not bad. I was getting used to.
I can imagine. In fact, the having customers on board a private jet, Indian customers, is not like an everyday thing, but there are a few. So there is a little market of private jets in India, and they are exactly as you described, very very high level. Demanding, but because they know they are, let's say, used to a certain level, and
Yeah.
they are expecting to have that level maintained even when they are traveling, obviously. So
Yeah. And they, at the end, they organized for me, of course, through diplomatic connection, to get to Kashmir.
oh,
And it was a war area, but I managed to get there. Of course, I couldn't stay longer. I remember it was just a week, 5 days. But I really have seen things that without these people, impossible, really impossible. So I think all my life I will really thankful all these people and the subcontinent altogether, because when I moved later to the south, the same Calcutta, a big businessman, big business family in Calcutta. Then they had connection to Bangladesh. So no problem jumping to Bangladesh. So all through this connection, and everywhere they were so honored to have you there. Especially they were thinking young lady, student, traveling alone and subcontinent with all what we know at that time. And believe me, the main problem was trying to pay for something.
yeah, the hospitality is indeed very renowned.
Very, very, really. I thought we Italian, with our grandmother, Emilia Romagna, we are also wow, but really there was wow.
Yeah. So the next question for you. Did you learn about spices, which I know is your passion, during your time in India, and what exactly sparked your passion for it?
Yes, in our cooking in Italy, we use spices like nutmeg, vanilla, bechamel with nutmeg, cinnamon, pepper, but really the variety, the diversity I found in the subcontinent really was amazing. And the smell, the perfume, and the different cuisine, I would say the whole subcontinent, because there is a big difference from the cuisine in Bangladesh and in Pakistan, even if they're Muslim, or Indian with all the mixed culture that they have, north and south. So yes, there my love for spices and tea, for chai, started. Because as I said, probably maybe also in the other podcast, the coffee in our family was really coffee. It's coffee, no milk. It's the really espresso. So the coffee flavor. I remember grandmother, she had always mocha, always ready. Or so anybody coming in from family, neighbors, oh, coffee, start. So the smell of coffee, for me, coffee is more a smelling on the nose things. But chai, tea, really, and the spicy tea like they have in Indian, in the subcontinent, was the Kashmiri one with the saffron also was very. I really liked that. So the tea and the spices and how they combine everything together. And also, for example, later on board on yacht, or maybe in your job like a private jet, always giving a touch of saffron. It's always like adding not only color, because the red, the sparkling red, but also luxury, because everybody knows that real saffron, the thread, it's really expensive.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I never thought about saffron.
Yeah, so anything you do, I mean, this also not only in India, but later when I was with this family, Persian, they were origin from Persia. So again, saffron, caviar, there is a ritual also for caviar because, Irani. And yeah, there are little things that can really
Make a difference.
make a difference and touch the client. Spices are energy, because any aroma, flavor, perfume is a type of energy. So if you touch your client with something that remembers something, like for example, Cortesi, for me it was love at first sight. The first time I got to smell one, of course, the Cortesi is fermented, is aged, so maybe for somebody was, maybe it's not a nice smell, or because it's aged, so fermentation. But first time I smell it, immediately connected me to my grandmother trunk, where all the silk, the brocades, she was a tailor, and the wardrobe. Like this smell of something old, long staying in a wardrobe. At that time, there was a really wooden wardrobe, not.
I know exactly the smell you were talking about.
So
my grandma as well.
Yeah. So for me, it was, wow, love at first sight, because it connected me immediately with something nice in my childhood. So if this does it to me, then it can do it also with a client on it. So later, especially decoration, plate decoration, cup decoration, or adding a spice or something, it's really important, because first it can be your signature, and the client will always remember you for that, because you decide, I put a little bit saffron in this cup of tea, I put a touch of saffron, I'm talking about the thread, the nice one, on the top of the rice, or on the top,
Decoration, yeah.
It's really, but decoration is another topic, but spices really can touch your soul, because it is energy. It is energy that goes through the nose, and then if you can touch the client with the nose, eyes, all this, you create an emotion, a sensation, and he will remember you.
Yeah.
And like you.
Normally when I speak during my trainings for VIP flight attendants, so for whoever is trying to get into the job of flight attendant on board private jet, I always describe it as our goal is to move people, but not move. So create an emotion, create a wave of energy inside people's bodies.
Touch them inside. Yeah.
You can achieve in very different ways. You can use all five senses to achieve it. You can do music. You can do that with taste, with a
color. So, but normally eyes, nose, immediately when you enter something, you feel it. It's I like is a welcoming atmosphere, a welcoming color. See, I still remember how was this dining room, this area in Pakistan, because it really entering, especially when you are basically frozen, paralyzed, because you don't know where you are going.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I also, I'm trying to visualize in my head, listening to you, and in my head is like a white marble everywhere.
Exactly. It was white marble table, the coffee table, and then was big couch, sofa with fabric, nice fabric, pastel, white, cream, and very light green with a golden thread. And then you had And then you had the part of wooden part, sustaining, also carved, nice. You could see it was not a place for students. So immediately I thought, oh my God, the second question, first, where am I now? And the second, how I'm going to pay for it? And of course, when she told me, Alessia, not even mentioned, for us is an honor you be here. But I said, yeah, but I asked for student accommodation. No. It doesn't even, you are a young lady. And of course, also this sense of protection. I don't know, now when I hear what's happening in the world and a girl traveling alone, at that time, really, I could feel what, because as soon as they saw a young lady or a lady traveling alone, it was their duty to protect you.
Wow.
That was their duty to protect you. I mean, I'm not being funny, but now in Lyon, in France, at the exhibition, you won't believe it. I was in a place, and the room next to me was a gentleman also coming for the show. And as soon as he heard talking in French about the show, it came out, Madam, can we share tomorrow? You going to the show tomorrow morning? Can we share a cab or a Uber? I said, okay, no problem. This is my business card. Then I'll see you tomorrow morning, 7:30. I said, fine, no problem. Then I'm looking, and of course there is a number for Paris and a number from Algiers. But okay, from the name I could understand maybe Algerian but very good French. And yeah, that was his first later, because then every morning we were going and sharing. Of course, I wasn't able to pay not even a coffee and the cab again. So I was thinking, no, madam, that is our duty when a lady. So really, I was thinking, and that's also brought me back to. This is not always bad, but I think the way you are, how much you're open to receive other culture, and then something good happen to you, because also this in France was not even planned. So again,
a random person who visited the exhibition.
And 30 years living in Paris, and he's Algerian, he has his family, but suddenly when he saw a lady, for him it was his duty. I told my wife, so really, I was thinking, wow, a part of a family immediately.
Yeah, exactly. And in the next 10 minutes, you'll find
in the next 10 minutes. So I have already invitation to Algiers, so no problem.
Well, the last question for you is something that it's I'm very curious about to listen to your answer, because I think you're going to surprise me. But no, I when I prepared the questions for you for this episode of the podcast, I paid particular attention on this one, and I would like to know, please, what is your favorite dish? How do you prepare it, and what makes it so special for you?
Oh, that's a good question, because very difficult to choose among all this interesting flavor and type of cooking of the subcontinent to really choose something. But I think the one who helped me traveling more in my thought when I'm thinking, preparing, is the biryani rice.
Yeah, I know.
Biryani rice, and I find it very interesting because in North India, they prepare it in a way. It's like masala. Every family has its own recipe, curry, it's like our grandmother lasagna recipe. Every family has its own secret recipe. So in Pakistan, they were doing in another different way. Now in Zanzibar, I experienced the Indian community do it there in another different way, more with the African touch, because biryani rice is full of spices. I think always, because we are talking about good quality spices, is a touch of luxury, is showing respect for your guest, because spices are expensive. So when they have guests in the family, they really put lots of spices, and maybe they take out some spices, like saffron is not a spice for every day. And there is a spice that I met for the first time in Pakistan. It was really in this biryani rice during the Ramadan, because then when they finish the Ramadan, it's a really big feast. Then there is no saving, no sparing, everything. It's go really, and plus in such a family. And I found the first time I saw it was like it looks like a chunk of wood in the rice, because it's quite big. I'm thinking, what is this? I don't know. And I asked them, and I said, this is black cardamom. So it's not the regular cardamom, and sometimes it's very difficult also to get it in Europe. It's even more perfumed. It has inside cardamom, sandalwood, because it's very woody. It's not like the cardamom, the pod you open and you get, and you know this you can't. It's wood. It's really wood, and so you can imagine the flavor when you suck it and you eat the rice around it with sandalwood, cardamom, cinnamon. It was an explosion of everything. Really, I still remember there. So this is a very nice plate, because I've seen many types of. It's like our Italian pasta, many shapes. Maybe for that I have is my favorite, because I managed to make the connection again. You see, something, the connection again with your lifestyle, where you've grown up, and your childhood. So rice in many different styles, this biryani style full of spices, connected me with our pasta sausages that we have through all Italy, with different sausages and spices and flavor. And the Pakistani side, it was more influenced by the Persian side. So together with the spices are coming also the fresh herbs, because the Irani, the Persian, they use lots of fresh herbs. So it's like firework of flavor. So spices, herbs, and then the biryani, it comes like the Irani rice with the crust underneath, the one they do in the northern India. Of course, Punjab is the continuity of this. Punjab, the North India, is the continuity. So they do also of course, Eastern Calcutta, Bangladesh, completely different. But I think this is one of my favorite dish, and it's very simple to prepare, especially if you have a rice cooker like they have there. You put a little bit of fat, oil, ghee, whatever you have on the bottom, with a little bit of water. You put saffron immediately, because when you turn it upside down,
it will be on the top.
It will be on the top, and it gives this golden color. So again, golden. They are also, in their way, there is a completely nice atmosphere scenario that they prepare with all this. It's not only really eating because I need to eat, I'm hungry, I have to fill up, but really they take care of all this. And then, of course, you start putting the rice, and then you start putting all the spices, and you leave it cooking. And of course, as soon as it starts boiling, just put it on, the lid, but the flavor, the aroma are coming out. And then the last one I ate, the biryani in Zanzibar, was very interesting, because they had cinnamon bark, not the powder, but bark, because in Zanzibar you have a cinnamon tree. So they get straight the bark from the tree, and they put. Fantastic.
Very nice, very interesting. As expected, you didn't disappoint me at all with your answer.
So, but I really suggest that I don't know what kind of kit decoration you get, but maybe if you can ask for some spices, that would be really for you and all your colleagues, really interesting thing, because especially I'm sure you have people from all over the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you have good quality spices, I'm sure any it doesn't have to be Indian, but it will be touched to see again spices or something.
It reminds of.
Yeah, home or familiar. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have to get in touch with my connections in between caterers and chef and ask if they are able to provide the spices. I think it shouldn't be very much of a problem. So
Yeah, because and it's also safe because they're dry, so nothing. Yeah,
yeah,
it's not like something moisture that there are all this rules about safety and things, poisoning. But spices normally they're really really safe and they're good and healthy.
exactly. Well, I would like to spoil a little bit about the next one of the next episodes in line of Elevenses. You will still see Alessia as a special guest, and we are going to talk about food plating. And thanks to, well, I should say that I'm actually about to take advantage of Alessia's experience as a chef to get some tricks about how to plate and prepare a very nice, visually nice dish for the private jet and for the customer.
That will be my pleasure. We'll come up with some new idea from around the world. We get inspired.
Exactly. So stay tuned because there are some exciting news coming over in the next episode of Elevenses. Thank you very much, Alessia, for joining us today, and thank you for your contribution. I, as always, enjoy so much talking to you. So that's all for today. Ciao for now, and baci baci.
Thank you.